Good morning, everybody. This is Miss T. Hope everyone has a good evening. Last night slept well and woke up this morning, spent some time with the Lord and ready for your day. We always need to get up in the morning and pray and spend some time with God. For it was Him that woke us up. There were a lot of people that did not wake up this morning. There'll be a lot of people that won't wake up tomorrow, but we need to give our blessings, our thankfulness for being woken up. Today, what I wanted to talk about, ladies, this is just for the men. I don't do a lot of uploads about men per se. But today it just impressed upon me to talk about to the men. I was listening to a chat this morning. It was a person that I go to his chat, and I think I consider him a YouTube friend, if you can understand what a YouTube friend means. And he's young, he's married. But what I notice about him is that with all the stuff that goes on YouTube and different chats and people arguing and doing all that, he still talks about God. The other day, I believe he said, he knows that people probably think he's this bad person or whatever, but he goes to church, he believes in God, and he loves his wife. That impressed me for so many reasons. First of all, men do not acknowledge anything that they think makes them look weak, vulnerable, what's it called, acting like a woman. And all of those things are considered weak. He always says he loves his wife. Now, I just met him. I don't know I don't know his past. I don't know anything about him. But I know that since I've been in this chat, he always tells he loves his wife. He always says that. I just respect that. So, whatever else he's got going on has nothing to do with me. I just know that he serves God, and he says it in his chat. And even though he might not know it, that might put something on some of the other men's minds that come into his chat. Like, if he can, acknowledge a God or the God, our God, and not be seen, weak, because he's not weak. Maybe that it sets a trend. Like, everything sets a trend. Somebody has to set it. So maybe that will get other men to start thinking, maybe even if I just read the Bible, I don't really have to tell anybody what I'm doing at first, but just taking a look at it. Because what makes him so happy? He comes in, he doesn't seem like there's nothing going on wrong with him. He talks about it, just the love of his wife and his kids. And so some people would like to know what makes him so, makes him feel like that. And maybe it's the love of God. And so maybe that would steer some men, into looking into that. I do truly understand you men. I do. I know I'm a woman, and men, you'll say you can't understand us. You're a woman. You ain't been in my shoes. Just like men will think or don't want to think that they understand women. But the reason why I say that is because what I do is I don't know how to, it's going to sound stupid, but I don't see gender. And what I mean is, I have kind of witnessed a lot of different things, men and women problems, if that makes any sense. But the only thing that keeps the difference between me and them is that I'm a woman, and that's how I'm seen. So, like, if I have been stopped by police, maybe a few times, a couple of times, and they've always been nice. I only think one gave me a ticket, but I should have fought that. But anyways, they've always been nice and never gave me a ticket, or just and every time they stopped me, it was legitimate. I was doing something wrong, and so I've never had to be in fear of driving a car and being stopped by the police. But I can relate. I can feel that inside me, how a black man, how he is driving down the street and he knows he's not doing anything really wrong. We don't always follow, turn your signals on when you're getting in another lane or whatever, but he's not doing anything wrong, and he knows it, and then he gets stopped by the police. So the first thing in his mind is, this is they're wanting to catch him with doing something or with something. Because if you're driving, you're a black man, 9 times out of 10, when they see you pass, they think, "Ooh, maybe I can stop him and get a good bust." The man is going to the grocery store to get groceries for his family, and you want to stop him because he's black, and quote unquote black men always have weed in their car or something illegal or something. We can't just be law-abiding citizens and pay our taxes and work and just try to make a good life for ourselves. It can't be that. So that's what, and then just to have the simple fact that then even if they just come down and say, "Sir, your tail light's out," or something, and he lets you go, it's still just the fear. Well, let me take that back. I'm not going to use the tail light thing, because then that would give him a reason to stop you. So he stopped you because he said, I don't know. I stopped you because I felt like stopping you would be the answer, but just for something frivolous. And even though he stopped you, that he let you go, the fear of knowing that someone has the power to change your life forever, to make your life, to do something to your character, to cause you to lose certain things, or to cause you to lose your life, is a scary thought. And black men have to drive around with that in their mind. So I understand just the anxiety and the having to deal with that, amongst other things. I will tell you that yes, there's the problem in this world, the evil in this world is not going to get better. It's going to get worse. Our leaders are really not for our countries. They're for themselves. They're fighting each other. So basically, and they're using their people as the pawns. I mean, if you don't like Putin, y'all go over there and box it out. Why do you feel the need that you have to involve the whole United States or the whole world in your dispute with one person, or involve the whole United States in the dispute that people stole the election. And I'm not saying nothing about Donald Trump. I don't speak politics really, because that can get you in trouble. But we don't have to, it just seems like everything is a calculated move, already designed, already planned. It's day 5. I'm not sure if they've come to a agreement, but I haven't seen anyone out looting or breaking into stores or stealing food. I'll have to check into that. But another thing, you men, it is not weak to have feelings. Men, you think that if you let a woman know that you love her, or you try hard not to tell her you're dating someone, y'all start, spending time together, you starting, to have feelings for her, and your boys are teasing you or talking, what's going on with the and you just kind of want to act nonchalant because you don't want, how you don't, it's the men have to be strong, just be strong in front of everyone, their friends, family. And reason why I understand that can cause you a lot of damage, because that's how I lived my life. I had to be strong no matter what, and I didn't have time to break down, or because people were dependent on me, I felt I had to make sure everybody else was okay. And so years of that did take a toll, but me finding the Lord has healed all of that. I don't dwell on those things. I am just happy that I have a new beginning, that I have a life, that God is in my life, and He's helping me every day, because it's a daily struggle to serve the Lord. Because even though we're tried to be in the world and not of the world for so long, it's seeped in. It's just like a cancer. It's just grows, and it's really takes a minute or to get it, to stop thinking a certain way. And so that's why I just pray to God about everything, every single thing. I don't care what it is. I think I talked about this before. If I lose my keys, I'm just going to pray to God, because I know me. I'm going to get upset, getting anxiety, and my day is going to be off. So I rely on Him for everything, and He never lets me down. And it's just little stuff. I sat here. I have a desk computer, and I have a laptop. I don't like to work on my laptop because I can't put all my programs out. I have to put one by one, and I can't stand that. Well, I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get my desktop computer to come on. And so I had to work on the desktop. And so many things were going on in my head. I just, you have, like I said, it's a daily thing. It's like I'm a sinner who falls short, and God has to keep reminding me. He has to keep picking me up. He has to keep dusting me off. He has to keep telling me. He has to keep, reminding me. It's just a, everyday thing. So I was sitting here being upset because I had to work on this small surface. And then I just said, God, please let my computer come back up, because I couldn't figure out what was going on. Do you know my computer came up about 4 or 5 minutes later? And you might think that is something simple, to you. But to me, that was everything. God will, and it's like He'll say, I'll answer a little prayer, just to remind you that I'm still here, and you can still rely on me. I don't know if I moved a cord. I don't know what happened. But my computer came on. And so I just thank the Lord, because I just, some things just, I'm telling you, if you had to work on, anybody who has to work on a laptop for their job, I feel sorry for. I don't care about no new technology. I don't care about nothing. I don't want to work on a laptop computer. I have one, my personal one, that I probably don't even know where I put it. But yeah, it's just the little things that he keeps reminding you. I'm here, you know. Don't forget, I'm here. When you decide that you were going to try to fix it yourself, I'm here. So that's what I wanted to say on that. But men think they have to be strong all the time. They have to put aside how they really feel and act strong when they're really not at that moment. If men get in a fight, which is rare because people don't fight that much, I guess. But if they get in a fight and they are the loser, what you call, or got the worst of it, you'll be known as whatever name they want to think of. First of all, you can't judge, you can't put people, everybody's going to lose a fight. You can't, everybody can't beat everybody. Everybody can't do something that someone else does. You're just a human being. It just, people make it sound like you have to be the superhuman if you're to live in the world, and you don't. If you got in a fight and you got beat, I don't know, but I know that you're still alive to fight another day. Everybody, you lose some, you win some. Also, men, if you're hanging around with men who never have anything good to say, don't bring anything good into your life, doesn't give you any good advice, doesn't seem like they care about your well-being, all they do is want to you crack jokes at each other, and sometimes it gets to the point where someone goes overboard and then it becomes something else. Well, then don't crack jokes at each other. But what I'm saying is you have to surround yourself, just like anybody else, with people who genuinely care about you. If your boys want to hang out all the time and do what y'all do, and they know that you have a family at home, but you say, I can't tonight, I gotta stay home with my, I want to spend some time with my wife, then here comes out all the negativity. Maybe it's because they don't have someone that they can spend time with. I'm just saying, if you got people in your life that you don't get good feelings from ever, and you can tell, you have to get rid of them. You have to remove them. They're like they'll fester. They'll get into, and they'll fester. I had to get rid of, I'm not going to say a lot of friends, or so-called friends, but some of them were just draining the life out of me. Because in any type of relationship, someone is going to be a little bit stronger, or it's usually the man, but sometimes women take on men's roles. I'm not going to go there, and they have to be a little bit stronger. It seemed like every so-called friend that I had to either pay the bill, drive here to pick up kids, and I didn't mind doing that because that's what friends are for. But if you're not getting the same back, or not just the same bag, but because I don't do stuff for people to get things done back to me. I'm already blessed. God already has blessed me, and He's the only one who really truly cares and loves me. So that's why you'll always hear me talking about God. So what I'm saying is, if you're feeling like this is a one-sided relationship, friendship, why be in it? Because it's not a friendship. You don't have a friend, but that other person has a friend, and that's not good. It takes a toll on you. Men don't understand that they get depressed and they have anxiety and they break down because it's not heard of. You can't say those words. Men can't say I'm depressed. Men can't say I'm scared. Men can't say I'm not sure, or I'm just anything that all that God has given us, our senses, everything. Men can't use, or say they don't use them. Why? God made Adam first, and He gave him every sensory, everything that women have. If God didn't want men to cry, He wouldn't have gave you tear ducts. What would be the purpose? And if you've ever had a good cry, you know how good you feel when you're done. It releases some kind of bad energy. You have to get things out. You can't just keep holding them in, because then you will explode. And that's basically what happened to me. I never let anybody, never let them see you sweat, never let them, whatever. That was me, because I felt I had to be. Well, not that I had to be, it just was my personality. I don't know. I guess maybe because of my childhood, it made me a little bit detached from certain things. And so I had to, just put that in the past. Leave that where it was, where it is, and let it stay. I know people have been traumatized in their childhood, and they're going to therapy. Actually, I started going to therapy. But I just want, if you're going to therapy, first of all, you need to find a good therapist. I went through I'm not coming back. It's not coming back. Because really, therapists are they're here to help you, but they're not helping you. If you find a good therapist, that therapist is going to tell you what you're doing wrong. What's wrong with you, why things are happening, and what, instead of saying you act like this because this happened in your childhood, or you act like this because somebody wronged you. It's all poor you. Everybody has done bad to you, but you've done nothing wrong. That is helping a narcissist grow and justify their feelings and what they're doing. You don't go through your whole life without being accountable for some of the things that you have done. Everyone didn't do anything to you. Every single person in your life has not done anything to you. You have to take accountability for your own self and what you've done. And so if you're in a therapist session and you've been there for 3 or 4 years, this is what I can't talk or say. Maybe people will need lifetime therapy. But It just seems to me, and that if you don't have a great therapist, a person who is doing their job because that's what that's what they want to do. They want to help people legitimately. If you have any other therapist, you're going to be there forever because she is your or he is your you go to him or her when you need to be reminded how great you are and how bad other people are. You have to be reminded, even though you know that you did something to somebody. You have to be going to your therapist will uplift you because your therapist is going to tell you, you're going to say, oh, I had a bad time at my family reunion because, and she's going to tell you that's because in your childhood, I'm just telling you, pray about it. You can utilize things. God has put people on this earth to help us, like as doctors and stuff like that, but you still have to pray when you're dealing with those people because you don't know what their beliefs or their personality is. You could have a doctor, he can't tell you that he doesn't like black people because he'd get fired, but he can show you by disregarding anything that you say and just tell you it's all in your mind, or just by anyway. So you have to continuously pray. Men also, so we went through the get rid of the toxic friends that have been sitting there, and I don't care if we've been boys since grade school, middle school. Well, you can still be boys because you can always love somebody from afar. They don't have to be sitting in your life every day. You can call and check up on them and say, see how they're doing, but they don't have to be a part of your everyday life. Especially now when you're grown. Back then when you were younger, boys or men, boys hang around in a group and friends, and it was fun, and girls have their little but when you're an adult, your friends are kind of like people that you go back to, or you reminisce with, or you spend a little bit of time with. It's not, when you're older, I don't understand why you would be hanging out with your friends every single day, especially if you have a girlfriend or a wife and kids at home. And your friend should understand that, if that is truly your friend. Men have to make sure that they have money because women have decided that they don't care about any integrity, any car door opening, any man that treats, they just want the bag is what they want. So men who feel like, I'll just say men who have low self-esteem, because men have low self-esteem just like women. And so when they feel like they can't get a woman because of the way they look or how tall they are, or whatever reason, they compensate by trying to get as much money as they can. Now, that would mean either you have a great job or you have to do stuff that you shouldn't do to have a lot of money, just to impress a woman that doesn't even like you. She just wants your money. I don't understand that. Is it not? Do you not feel worth? How do you still just love the woman that you're with, even though you only got her because you spent all your money on her, and You fly her here and there, and who knows what she's doing when she's not around you. Is that really a relationship that you want to be in? That can cause major issues. You're going to have stress and because first of all, you have to keep that money flow. Because as soon as it's cut off, I don't care. As soon as you say, all I have is $2. She's packing. She's gone. You see skid marks on the floor. She's out of there. So you have to always come up with ways to keep money, unless you have a good job. Now, the good job people are always going to have money, but like I said, do you really want to be with someone that you know does not care nothing about you? They just want your money. It's still the same thing. But the person who has to do other things to get it is risking their freedom, risking their life. Because believe you me, get locked up and see. Ask Donnell Jones. You won't have her. You won't have anybody. And what did you gain? Now you're sitting in a place where all you see is men. You don't even see women. So, yeah. Also, men tend to have anger issues, and that's because they don't let their emotions out. They keep it in until they explode. Men nowadays are so, oh my goodness. When something happens and they snap, it's not a good thing. You don't know what's going to happen. They just don't release the agony and the pain, the whatever they go through every single day. It builds up, and then someone comes and y'all have a disagreement, argument, and then it explodes. And who knows what will happen when you do that. So men, what I'm just saying to you is, you're also a human, and you have emotions. You get sad, you're happy, you're angry, jealous, and all those things. And there's ways to control those emotions, because if you look at the recent statistics, how many women are being unalived by their boyfriends, unalived by their ex-boyfriends, unalived by their children's father, because of emotions that they can't handle, and they never got help or never seek help for whatever they had gone through. Maybe they have abandonment issues and you don't know that, and so everybody in their life when they were little abandoned them. Their mother left. She was on drugs, and then they had to go live with their grandmother, and she passed away, and she was the only one who really loved them. And then you got bounced from house to house and never really felt loved, because some people, if you're not their child, you're not their child. They're not going to treat you as their child. That's why I believe that the foster system is broken, and that's the most important place to fix, because you are taking children, and that's how we get all these broken grown-ups, all these broken adults, all these men who can't handle situations, or don't, because they're growing up not being treated, being abused, or whatever. Because most people, if you're a foster parent, and there are some foster parents who are wonderful, I'm not talking about them, but most times they're wanting the money, and the child can come second or third or fourth. They rated a woman, she had 5 foster kids, and I think her daughter called on her and told them that she was abusing them and not feeding them, whatever. So they went in and they talked to the kids, but those kids were so petrified. to even say anything. It was horrible, but they ended up taking those kids, and that was a wonderful thing. But I don't understand why they don't have an intense scrutiny on these people and checking on no, to be a foster parent, you really don't have much to do other than have a good background, no criminal background, and go to a couple of classes. Yeah, when you're a parent, you don't have to do those. You just have babies, and we understand that some parents shouldn't have kids. But if you're going to place a child somewhere that you took them from, that was toxic to them, you better make sure the place you're putting them in is not the same place, because you're just moving them from one toxic place to another. And it's just unreal. Also, men have to feel like they have to have the latest. Women do too, some women, but it's more or less men, because if you're not, all I hear is I got the new J's or the whatever, and then here I hear they got clothes, whatever, jeans out that cost $1,000 and all these rigmarole. Did I say that right? Whatever. They make these things, they produce these things because they know you will buy it. Them $1,000 jeans only took $10 to make. So yeah. So, and who's really benefiting? It's the company, because you wear those jeans. You with your boys, yeah, they might think, but who's going to know? I don't know. Who's going to know that they cost $1,000? I'm not sure. You can tell me. Is there a tag that says? I don't know. But you don't have to follow in with the crowd. You don't have to, because you're afraid of standing out. A strong leader does not care if he stands out. He's going to take a stand, and you can't, push him down. He don't care if everybody's going this way, he's going to go that way. You don't have to be in a group and everybody's like a robot. We all work, you're the head, we all work as one person. Everyone has their own mind, their own personality, their own goals, their own things they want to do in their life. Everybody is not the same. So if you're a man and you're sitting around with your guys and they're all just talking about old days, and man says, I'm getting ready to, get my CDL license and try to truck drive and do this, and they're like, oh, okay, cool. But you can't say anything, because what you really want to do is considered weak. You want to write a book. You've been secretly writing down things because you always wanted to have a book published. But you can't say that, because what? You're going to get clowned, and everybody, you're going to be the butt of the jokes for the day. So you can't even express how you are. You can't even show your true self, or be excited to let your so-called friends know that you've accomplished something, or you want to accomplish something, because they're going to laugh at you. Where did that get? They're all going to laugh at you. That came from Kara. So anyway, it takes, if you're not born that way, if you're not born a leader, it's really hard for you to maneuver in your life, because you'll have to pretend. You have to be one way here and one way somewhere else, because when you're with your boys, you can't tell them, I love my girl, I gave her a massage and rubbed her feet, and I cooked dinner. You can't tell them none of that, because they are going to clown you. Now, a strong man who has his own life, who's who is a warrior, who is a king, can tell you all day long. I gave my woman a massage. I cooked, I cleaned, and everybody probably be like, oh, you know, probably because you see the strength in some people, and some people look up to other people because they see the strength in them. They see, you know, they give them good advice, and then just being around them, they got this powerful aura and this light that just draws people to them because they don't my words again, they are their own person. They're not going to let anybody change them or make them do something that's not, you know, that they don't want to. They stand up, they fight, and that's why I just love to talk about Fred Hampton, and no, not the singer, the chairman, one of the chairmen of the Black Panthers, the one that got assassinated. If you just listen to him talk, anytime a man can tell you that he cares so much about you, he's willing to lay down his life. This man was willing not only to lay down his life for his woman, but for all black people, all minorities. He even had white people in his, you know, join the Panthers. He knew there was injustice. He knew that it was wrong. He didn't care if they tried to beat it out of him like they did all the others, or, you know, what they did to all the others. He stood up, he looked in their face and told them, you're wrong, and we're not going to stand for it. They couldn't push him down, they couldn't shut him up, they couldn't threaten him, they put him in jail for a charge of stealing ice cream. He still came out and continued to do. They couldn't do it. They could not break him. So they had no other choice but to do what they did. And you just need to listen to some of his speeches, and it gives me, I don't know, but anywho, let me get back to what I was saying. So men, you don't have to just live life just going by someone else's rules. You're your own unique person. God created you specially. He already knew you before you was born. He wants to give you eternal life. He doesn't care how bad you have been, how bad you are. He doesn't turn away anyone who repents, asks for forgiveness, and never does that sin again. He doesn't turn away anyone. And some people don't accept that, because then they say, well, then that means child molesters can go to heaven and blah, 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 blah. Well, if God said everyone is a sinner and falls short, that's categorizing everyone. Yes, that's a horrible thing. Horrible thing. I don't play when it comes to kids. You don't touch kids. You don't nothing harm kids, because that makes you not only are you a predator, sicko, you are weak as far as you take the most vulnerable thing to abuse. You're not going to stand up to a man, but you're going to take the most vulnerable thing that can't protect themselves and harm them. So yes, I'm with everyone about, you know, how could they go to heaven? Why would he let them in heaven? He would let them in heaven if they repented, asked for forgiveness, and never did it again. Yes, there's going to be maybe some children that have been harmed to the point of what, you know, they're going to need a lot of help or care or whatever, and God understands that. But he doesn't. We all have to repent for whatever sin we're doing. I don't care if it's a sin that you cheat on your taxes or whatever. We all have to repent for whatever sin that we're doing. He did not say only, only these kind of sins are going to be forgiven. Well, he did say all sins that are forgiven except blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. And that's just basically denying God exists, his whole existence. Other people would say suicide or murder or whatever, serial killers or whatever. I'm not here to debate what you think. I know those things are terrible, terrible things. But I can only tell you what I read, what God says to me. And he made us all. And I'm going to do a series. I'm going to do upgrade and read from the book. Well, I've already read the book. I'm just going to give some information and talk about it, because once your eyes are opened to the real information, to the true information that has been hidden from us, you will understand God. You will understand. You won't ask why. You won't wonder how come. You won't. God gave us everything. He told us he had Enoch write down everything that he's seen in heaven, what's going to happen, how you avoid, being taken over by Satan, just this whole thing that he gave. And he said, give to the people, let them read and meditate and pray on it and whatever, but they withheld that. So of course you're not going to think that you have grace. You've been told that you're nothing, that you're meant to be a slave, that we can do anything to you that we want to because you're not a human. You're, the lies and all the deceit and all the evil that has happened. That's all in the Bible. He told you. It says that parents will sell their children for power. What is going on in the world, you can see in the Bible and in these different books that are now coming out that have been hidden from us because they didn't want us to learn the truth or know the truth. Because knowledge, education is the only way, with God, of course, is the only way that you're going to be able to stand up. If somebody beats a person down all their life, that's what they're going to feel like. You're stupid. Even though they might get tested and have a high IQ, but you've been called stupid from the time you were born until whatever. Maybe that sunk in your head. Some people are going to be like, I'm not, I'm not stupid. But there's some people that just don't have don't have that will and are lost and are looking for love or looking for someone. Your parents were supposed to be the first people to show you love and to give you education and such things. But I will say, black parents can be some hard parents and grandmothers. They some of them thought what they were doing was good in the long run, but all kids need love. If you don't have a parent that ever tells you that they love you or show you that, how are you going to then grow up, get married, and show that to your kids? How are you going to know what is right? Are you going to have to? Are you making them, distant, or they won't know? And it's just going to be a vicious cycle. Yeah. They thought they were doing good, making it. They were just brainwashed. All kinds of things. And so yeah, that triggered, that just made it like we can't have weak people. They've already taken over. They already did that to us. We're not going to raise kids that can't, grow up and can't defend themselves or can't stand up for themselves. We're going to make them tough. I'm telling you, my grandmother, she never, I knew my grandmother loved me, but she never told me that. And she was so harsh, very harsh. I found out she was really, really harsh to her own kids. But to her grandkids, she was still harsh, even though she did it with love. She might say something back, she might do something to you, but she's going to make a peach cobbler, and that's going to make you feel better. But I can remember my grandmother, she called me down to show me how to fight. I had gotten a fight, I think I was in 3rd grade. But it was 3 girls. I don't remember. I know it's fighting one, but her friends did. You know how I wasn't a fighter, so I didn't hit her back, or I wouldn't hit her back if she pushed me. And if you're trying to get away, you know how the friends push you back in there so you can fight. So yeah, that was my grandmother said never again. Never again. She called me down there, and she showed me what to do, how to do it, and if you don't do it, you gonna come home and do it with me. And who do you want to fight, me or that's how parents were, grandparents were. We were like, I have to fight now because I don't want to go home and get in trouble, that type of thing. And that's not right, because you shouldn't be fighting. There's nothing for kids to fight about. What are kids? They don't pay bills. They don't have to buy groceries. They don't have to do anything but go to school and learn. So there's what's all the attitudes and the talking back and all that. This is the most freedom you're ever going to have until you grow up. Enjoy it. Be a kid. There are kids out here that do not have parents, that have parents who are abusive, and you're sitting here taking your parent for taking them for granted and disrespecting them, and all they're doing is trying to make sure that you're good. I'm gonna break my back to make sure these lights stay on. I gotta get this water bill paid. I gotta pay this mortgage, car payment, health insurance, food, everything. Your activities you want to be in, those new tennis shoes you wanted to get, all that, and then they want to talk back to you. Cut all that off and see what happens. See if you don't get some new kids in the house. It's time to get some new kids in the house. Men, please stop telling your sons, your 2-year-old sons, to stop crying. Stop. Don't be it. I've seen a man punch their young boy in the chest because he was crying or whatever. He'd be a sissy, and they are supposed to cry. If they're hurt, they cry. If their feelings were hurt, they can cry. That's why they have tear ducts, and that releases anger. It releases all the things that are built up in you that you keep. They need to cry. So while you're what you need to do is sit down and explain to them how life is going to be and what kind of man he should be. Men always say women can't raise men, but I beg to differ. If you are a strong person and you with God, you can do anything. My 16-year-old son knows how to cook. He knows how to clean the house. He knows, and I know you're going to say those are women things, but just listen. He knows how to do his laundry. He also knows how to treat a woman. He knows how to handle his business. If he needs to make an appointment for, I don't make your appointment. Get them ready for life outside. Talk to them about how you don't be a follower, don't be a leader. I always ask him when he says, "Can I go with my friends?" I say, "What if they?" And it just pops out my head sometimes. What if they decide they want to pull down the fire alarm in the mall? What are you going to do? Run with, I teach them that you don't have to be that person. Be your own person. Follow your own rules. He goes to church. All that. You have to make sure that they know God, especially. That they know that there is a God, that they know that they can rely on him when they are scared, when they're in a situation, because boys are going to be in situations all the time. You could be by yourself, walking, and a group of guys come up to you, because everyone thinks black boys are in gangs. They can't just be living their life, going to school and working. They have to be in a gang. So they're gonna, approach you. What set or whatever, I don't know. They have to be able to know how to deal with that situation. There's a way to deal with it without causing harm to them, because if they hop up and talk about, what do get angry, because the Bible tells us we should be slow to anger, because when you are angry, you don't see nothing but red, and you're going to act upon whatever that is. And that's how a lot of people have been unalived. That's how a lot of people make stupid decisions. Because you need to sit and think. Take that 1 minute. And I know it's hard, because that is I pray, put that on my prayer list. Lord, please take that away. On top of other things, but I need to get that taken away, because I know I'll snap in an instant, and that is not a good thing. Plus, that's not Christian-like. I mean, not God-like. I'm not going to say Christian, because I don't follow any kind of I am a Christian, but I don't follow any kind of religious with the name and whatever. I just worship God. I don't have any guide to oversee how I worship God, or to tell me how I'm supposed to go worship God. I do go to church every once in a while. I'm going to start going back a lot, but it's not because I need guidance. It's because I need people who are like me, who love the Lord. I need to spend time with those type of people, because it just seems like when you're serving the Lord, you're out in the world by yourself. It's your own personal walk, and it can become I'm not going to say that, because I don't know. Once I say it wherever I go, but it can't, being by yourself can be a harmful thing to you. So you sometimes need to be with people that you can quote by, Bibles. Did you read, I read this story of that kind of thing. And just to give you some kind of refresher, so you don't have to always be the one who because when God says to go out and spread his word, it seems like you're the person that people want to stay away from. Here she comes with that God stuff. Here they come. I don't want to hear it. So you really have, you have to deal with that. You should ask any Jehovah's Witness, poor people. Those people are dedicated. They don't care. They will get up every Saturday morning, put on their nice attire, and knock on your door, even if they know that you're home and you're not answering. They're still going to knock on it. But when you're with people like you guys can just have a God fest. You can read scriptures, uplifting scriptures, and sing songs that you love to listen to. But because my favorite music is gospel music. I love gospel music. I just ran upon this. I can't even think of. I just ran upon this. I think he's a rapper, and I heard him on one of Big B's videos, and just he was rapping, but it was like a rap giving you some inspiration. And so I asked him who that was, and he told me, and I just love that. And I found out that he's a motivational speaker. So I'm gonna have to get his name. And he has 3 books that he suggests that we all read. And I have to get back to his channel so I can find out what those 3 books are. But my 3 books that I suggest that you read are the Egyptian Bible, Ethiopian Bible, the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jubilees. Those 3, I suggest you start out. You get that comfortable with that and get things in your mind. There's plenty of other books that they have taken out of the Bible that you can read. Yeah. So men, you're still a man. You're still a person. You belong in this society. You're not a thing that it's odd and we'd have to study you and what study you in your habitat or anything. Like, you're a part of this human being. It's just sometimes we don't get the right nurturing, understanding. We fall into the wrong places, and it just turns into a vicious cycle. Men need to be in their kids' life, but they feel like, I don't want to deal with my baby mama, but it doesn't have anything to do with her. It's your child. I know, sir. I know. Putting up with that. I understand. Fully, I understand. Some women use the children as pawns. You're not going to see your kid if you don't bring me $200 when you just gave her child support the day before, and then she tells you can't. Just all kinds of stuff. And it just seems unfair that the courts tell you that you have to pay this amount of money, but you don't have you can't make any decisions. You can't say, I want him to go to this school, I want to put him in boxing, I want him to be in football. You can't say, you have no say, because especially if you have a bad relationship with her, she ain't going to follow nothing you say, even if it's good for the child. I want my son, my daughter to learn how to swim, which is very important to know. But you don't tell her what to do. So they're not going to learn how to swim. I'll teach him. No, what you're going to do is put your child in danger, and hopefully God is merciful and protection. If you leave a child by water, or if you get in a lot of people have gotten in situations where they got caught up and drowned. I don't know how to swim. I have been trying to learn how to swim. I say I'm going to learn how to swim, but I have put myself in situations. I've been on boats. I put myself in situations that could have had me, fighting for my life or whatever. I believe everyone needs to know how to swim, and that's just my opinion. There's other things you need to know, but that there is important, because I just can't imagine the parent who maybe had left their 2-year-old just wander, and that happens all the time, and they fell into the water. They got the phone. Just one mistake and their child is gone. So now you have to live with your child is gone, and then you're going to live with that guilt that it's going to eat you up. I know I got out of topic, but I always do. So men, just, you don't have to tell people that you read the Bible. You don't have to tell people that you pray. You don't have to tell people anything. It's your personal relationship with the Lord. I really believe if you get him into your life, that you will see changes, that you will make changes, that you'll be a better father, you'll be a better son, you'll be a better friend, you'll be a better person. It just, all the hating, people come up with new words haters. You need to have haters in your life, because if you got haters, that means if you got haters, that means they are just evil. They don't like you, and maybe they're going to do something to you because they're going to throw acid in your face, or they're going to have you set up or something. No, you don't need to have haters in your life. It's just this world is just crazy. It's evil. That's all I can say. If you don't have the protection of God, I don't know how you make it. It has made it a little bit easier. COVID made it. I don't know. I'm not going to say that it was a good thing, because it certainly is not. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it was man-made. I don't know. But it caused us to go inside and sit with ourselves and look at ourselves. I don't know when you open that door if you became a different person. I know that a lot of people got divorced during that time, but maybe it gave you a time to spend with yourself so that you understand what type of person do I want to be? What type of person am I? Is this the type of person I want to be? One that calls women bees all the time? One that just says, I have never in my life heard so much, I want to take a bee to the hotel. So, the reason why sex has become the enemy is because it's not being used according to the God's word. Be fruitful, be married, and multiply. That was in the Bible days. He did not say get as many women as you want pregnant at the same time. Catch diseases, because there's some medicines that will cure those. I hear this whole new social media, like I said, can be good and it can be bad, but now they got this whole narrative. People come on there and tell them how they caught their disease and how they live with it. And the woman said, she caught HIV, but she said, but it's not that bad because the medicine. Ma'am, what do you mean it's not that bad? You should be a poster child on telling people why not to be out there just having sex all free willy-nilly. Because you can possibly get this disease that I don't care how many pills you put in, that makes you undetected, is still in there. And it can maybe become resistant to the medication that you've been taking for years, and just decide, with age and whatever else, it's going to pop out. And then, don't make these sinful things okay. Don't try to justify something wrong that you're doing. No, it's not okay to be promiscuous. It's not okay to be going around sleeping with a bunch of women and getting them pregnant. And none of that is cool. It's not okay. And it's a sin that, Yeah, I know a lot of people. My son, I was not married to his father. And it's a difference. Kids need to have both their parents, really. And in the home. If you can't be in the home, they still need to have both their parents that are working together to make their life easier. We can't have bickering moms and dads, because the first thing that's going to happen is mom's going to tell all the bad stuff about the dad and tell him and then when the child goes off, they're going to be so confused and so upset all the time, and then the mama gets a boyfriend, and then the dad gets mad because he better not touch, which he shouldn't touch my kid, and blah, 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 and you don't know what's going on in the house. Just all kinds of confusion that didn't need to happen. But we've gotten so far from God and the Bible that this is the outcome. What do you expect? What did you think was going to happen? Satan is real, just as God's real, and so is Satan. And he enjoys terrorizing you. He enjoys messing up your life. He enjoys all the harmful things that happen to you, because he mostly causes those things. He's hoping that you forget God, because all these things are happening. People always want to say, why did God do this to me? God didn't do that to you. You did it to yourself. And so then you want to, hate God or say there is no God. And you've turned, and now he's got you. The devil's got you in his grip, and you're lost. I'm telling you, there is a God. Jesus is coming back sooner than later. I can't tell you how many signs that I have seen. I just don't, it makes me nervous, because because you don't know how it's going to happen or what's going to happen. Is there going to be a bright, you still get a little, worry, because you're like, how's that, but God, you don't have to be afraid of God. But Jesus is coming back. And all I can say is, if you choose to not listen, or you refuse, if you believe there's a God and you just refuse to worship him, I just feel that you just, whatever happens, you're that type of person. I'm going to live till I can't live no more. If you're a person who sincerely thinks that there's no God, nothing good has happened in your life, and no one's ever loved you, and you just feel like things happen to you and you feel like there's no God, I ask you just to try him and see if you don't get a difference. See if things don't start changing. Stop looking to the stars, the sun. God made all those things. So if he made them, they're under his control. They can't tell you what your life is going to be, and who and what and why and when. They're under his control. Not the stars are put there for a certain reason. God put them there. It's in the Bible. Everything was aligned and made perfectly. Because of sin, it's all messed up. Really, really messed up. People have found ways to get away from the Lord and make up other things that they need to worship, golden cows and sun and all these things. But like I said, God made all those things, so they're under his control. So where do they get their, they can't predict anything. So anyways, I think I've talked a long time. I hope that I know some people are just like, I just can't feel it. I just don't know. I just don't feel God around me. I just don't feel it. But you have to come to him. He's not going to come to you. He's going to stand right where he's been standing, and you're going to have to come to him. He's going to open the door if you knock, but he's not coming to find you. You have to want him. Unlike Satan, because Satan's going to come find you wherever you're at. He's going to make sure you're doing something you ain't supposed to be doing. He's going to make sure that you going the same fate he's getting, you're going to get. Oh yeah, he's going to come after you, especially if you're serving the Lord, because he hates those people, because they're always running their mouth about God. We don't want to hear, Satan's fears God. His angels fear God. The word, his name puts fear in them. They don't want you going out talking about him and get other people to be talking about him, and then they have to hear. They're going to try and shut you up, and you're not going to be able to. Like I said, you can't fight Satan without God. You can't. He wins every time. That's why I let God fight my battles. I've learned that I had to learn, and I just learned. And the people will. I still have people that teach me lessons out. You can't. You don't know everything. People don't know everything, so you have to be told. So I've learned over the past couple of weeks that I don't have to have an opinion on everything. I don't have to feel like I need to save people. Not to be, I learned that being quick to anger, because I had to endure that. So I learned some things about me that I need to work on. I took them back to God. God, these things I do, I don't want to do. I don't want to make people, throw people off. Like I'm trying to act like I'm smarter than everybody, or I'm better than anybody, because I am not. My message is we are all sinners and we all fall short. That's my message, me included. So yeah, I just like talking about God, and I just like people to be at peace and happy, and know that they can, don't have to live in this whatever this is, this world that's full of yuck and guck and garbage and pain and suffering, and you don't have to be, and it's not going to be this way all forever. He promised that when he comes back, we won't need tear ducts. I don't know if he's going to give them because we can cry for joy. I don't know. We won't need doctors. We don't even need food. We're going to be just at peace. We don't even know what kind of peace. We haven't endured anything any peace, any pain, pain, no pain, and all that. We haven't endured any of that until we get there. And so just knowing that, for me right now when my back hurts, just knowing that someday I won't have to have a headache and my back won't hurt, and just that I can just live peacefully without all of this sin around me. That gives me my joy. That gives me the push. Keep going. And all he asks from me is that I keep his commandments, love my brother and sister, and spread his word. It's not really much that he's asking. I know people say when you go to church you can't do all the fun stuff. Well, that's not. Is it fun to be drunk, high all the time, sleeping with it's just that the devil has gotten us all twisted. Everything, our minds are just twisted, and we're looking for some kind of comfort or some kind of something, and maybe alcohol comforts you, maybe sex comforts you, I don't know. But I know the only true comforter is God. And I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to say it on my channel. Those who want to hear it can come and hear it. And yeah. So men, I pray that you find peace, find understanding, and know that you don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to just not act human. You're human. You have feelings. You can cry. You have pain. You get your heart broke. You get jealous. You get mad. You get all those things, and you can have a way to deal with those. And don't let anybody tell you that you're less of a man if you're doing something good, because it seems like if it's something good, then you're weak. If you're doing something good, then good attached to it, then you're weak. So that's all I have to say. I hope everyone has a blessed day. Until next time.